Peyton Manning just got released by the Indianapolis Colts. What team will number 18 sign with? What's going on, People 5 Sports Talk? Back at it, talking NFL, and a big shock. Not really a shocker, actually. The Indianapolis Colts have decided to move on without Peyton Manning and move ahead into the Andrew Luck era. I'm doing a little foreshadowing here because I think it's inevitable that they'll draft Andrew Luck with the number 1 overall pick in the 2012 NFL Draft. But moving forward, I'm here to discuss what team I think Peyton Manning will consider, should consider, and will ultimately try and end up in. Let's start off with teams that I don't like Peyton Manning being in, as in I don't see them as a good fit. And here are some of the teams that I've been hearing about and I just don't like, and I just don't see Peyton Manning fitting in with them very well. First off is the Denver Broncos. With all the Tim Tebow hoopla, Peyton Manning has enough distractions as it is with the broken marriage with the Colts that didn't work out, and how he has had a terrible relationship with Jim Irsay. He doesn't need all the Tim Tebow hoopla that comes along with the Denver Broncos. Plus, they've got weak receivers in Eric Decker and Demaryius Thomas. Add it all up, and the only positive thing they have is a good D. Peyton Manning isn't having it. Broncos are a terrible option to look at. I don't think he'll even consider it. Another team a lot of people are saying he should consider are the San Francisco 49ers. Let me tell you something, people. Jim Harbaugh, the reigning coach of the year, wants to run things. He wants to do things his way. If you saw the NFC Championship game last year, Jim Harbaugh, all throughout the playoffs even, was calling every single play and that Alex Smith was running. And speaking of Alex Smith, he finally turned the corner and has become a decent quarterback. Why would the San Francisco 49ers ruin this momentum that they have when they were a round away from making the Super Bowl for a 36-year-old quarterback that might not even be that healthy? They don't know yet. There's a little uncertainty. What they have is fine. Continuity is good in the NFL. I don't think the 49ers will mess up a good thing. And then last but not least, the New York Jets. Again, you have the whole hoopla with, oh, he's playing in New York with his brother, Eli Manning, who just came off a Super Bowl and has one more Super Bowl than his older brother, and you have the whole Rex Ryan hoopla. You know, he likes to talk a lot. They do have some talent, a wide receiver in Santonio Holmes and a tight end in Dustin Keller and a running back in Sean Green, but just the fact that it's New York and he has to deal with the whole media, I don't think Peyton Manning will consider the Jets. Now, moving on to the teams that I do think he will consider and ultimately end up with, I've got 5 teams listed here, and I'll just run them down real quick. First, I have the Miami Dolphins. They've got a good wideout in Brandon Marshall. I think he was the All-Pro Bowl MVP, even if that matters. They've got a solid running back in Reggie Bush, who really improved last year, and a solid defense. Warm weather added all up. A good fit for Peyton Manning. Then you have the Kansas City Chiefs, who weren't that bad last year. Remember, they were the only team that handed the Green Bay Packers their only loss of the year. They have a solid wide receiver in Dwayne Bowe, a running back in Jamal Charles, who was injured last year but should be coming back healthy. He's a top 5 back. And Romeo Crennel's a new coach who might allow Peyton to run the offense. You never know. Then you have the Washington Redskins. They don't have too much talent, but Peyton Manning could bring someone along like Reggie Wayne or Pierre Garçon. Mike Shanahan could be a bit of a problem, but my guess is Peyton could rub off on him the right way. Their D is solid. Things could work there. I could see the Redskins. Then you have the Arizona Cardinals. We've got an all-world, all-elite wide receiver in Larry Fitzgerald, who will be an absolute stud next to Peyton Manning. You've got a running back, underrated running back actually, in Beanie Wells, who had a decent year last year. A solid defense with defensive tackle Darnell Dockett. Overall, a good fit. Remember, they had Kurt Warner a couple years back. They're known to recycle old quarterbacks and make them relevant again. And then the last team I have, it's sort of a dark horse that not many people have talked about, the Seattle Seahawks. They just locked up Marshawn Lynch, who's one of the in my opinion, one of the most underrated backs in the NFL. Their defense is pretty decent, and they're the only team that I think that may fully hand over the offense to Peyton Manning without much questioning, meaning Peyton Manning can come in and just run the offense his way, and the Seahawks wouldn't have a problem with it. Those are the teams that I think will ultimately be the teams he'll consider, and the team that I have him going to is the Miami Dolphins because of solid defense, a wideout in Brandon Marshall, a back in Bush, and warm weather. I think Peyton lives there in the off season. It just seems like a good fit to me. Let me know what you guys think. Comment, rate, subscribe. I'll see you guys next video.